Chapter 10-2, Algebra, Solving Proportions. We'll begin with example 1. Solve the proportion 4 over 5 is equal to 28 over x. The first thing we're going to do is come up with a strategy, and there's really two strategies you can choose with here. This problem should look somewhat familiar to you. You did this a few chapters ago when it was called equivalent fractions. In this case, we look for a pattern. 4 times something will equal 28. That will help us solve the bottom number. Off in the gold box, you'll see I've done something different, and what I've done is cross multiply. That means you take the diagonal numbers. I do 4 times x, and I do 28 times 5. So I end up with 4x equals 140. Going back to the first strategy, hopefully you realize that 4 times 7 equals 25. So if I take 5 times 7, that will equal 35. Going back to my gold box, if you remember I had 4x equals 140. I divided both sides by 4. Either case, x will still equal 35. Our next problem says 1.0 over 1.2 is equal to y over 0.6. Again, you can treat this like we did equivalent fractions, and you look for a pattern going from left to right or from right to left. In the yellow box, what I've done is I've cross multiplied again. I did y times 1.2, which is why I have 1.2y, and then I did 1.0 times 0.6, which is 0.6. For those who get really confused by this, my recommendation is take the decimals out for the time being. That leaves with the numbers 10, 12, and 6. Suddenly, this problem is a lot easier to accomplish. Some people might have realized that the number is really just being cut in half if I go from left to right, because 12 cut in half is 6. That would lead me to believe 10 cut in half is 5. You throw the decimals back in, and you get 0.5. In the gold box, I did my division, and I still came up with the same answer, 0.5. This has been Chapter 10-2, Algebra, Solving Proportions. As always, any feedback, I'd love to hear from you. Please email me or visit me on my website. Thank you, and have a great day.